It was just another ordinary morning in Tokyo. But then, the warning sirens echoed across the city. A monstrous wave, rising higher than anything seen before. Panic erupted. People ran as fear consumed the streets. Could this really happen? Would you survive? The Impossible Files presents Mega Tsunami, Tokyo. Tokyo, one of the busiest, most vibrant cities in the world. A place where more than 37 million people wake up every day, certain that tomorrow will look just like today. Neon lights, bustling trains, and endless streets filled with life. But what if, in a single moment, all of it changed? What if the unimaginable happened? This is not a Hollywood movie. This is not science fiction. This is a question scientists have asked for decades. What if a mega tsunami, taller than the skyscrapers of Tokyo, struck Japan without warning? Imagine this. The morning begins like any other. Families rush to work and school, trains arrive on schedule, and Shibuya Crossing fills with thousands of people. But deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, a massive tectonic shift is already underway. Plates grind, pressure builds, and within seconds, the Earth rips open. The Japanese Meteorological Agency detects it immediately, an earthquake measuring 9.3. Sirens erupt across Tokyo. Television broadcasts cut to red alerts. Phones buzz with emergency messages. Tsunami warning. Seek higher ground. But there is no higher ground in central Tokyo. Only towers of steel, glass, and concrete. Towers that will soon be swallowed whole. Far out in the Pacific, walls of water begin to rise. At first, the ocean pulls back, exposing seabeds that haven't seen daylight in centuries. Children playing on beaches stare in confusion as fish flop helplessly on the sand. Tourists capture it on their phones, not realizing that the ocean's retreat is the prelude to destruction. Then, it appears, an 80-meter wall of water, a moving mountain racing toward Japan at the speed of a passenger jet. In the streets of Tokyo, chaos explodes. Traffic jams freeze highways, crowds scream and scatter, helicopters roar above, broadcasting desperate instructions. And then the unthinkable. The wave hits. The first impact obliterates Japan's eastern coastline. Fishing villages vanish in an instant. Ports are swallowed whole. Massive cargo ships are tossed inland like toys. The wave accelerates, surging toward the heart of Tokyo. In Shibuya, the world's busiest pedestrian crossing becomes a death trap. Thousands run in every direction as shadows fall across skyscrapers. People scream. Some freeze in terror. Others pray. And then, impact. The giant wave slams into the city. Glass towers shatter. Entire blocks disappear beneath the water. Neon lights spark and die. Cars are ripped from highways, spinning violently in the flood. The once vibrant capital of Japan is now unrecognizable. A city drowning under the weight of nature's fury. But this is only the beginning. Because what follows is not just a national disaster. It's a global catastrophe. The Pacific Tsunami Warning System triggers alarms across the world. Hawaii prepares for impact. The US West Coast scrambles to evacuate millions. From Alaska to Australia, nations brace for a wave that will circle the entire ocean basin. Billions watch live news feeds in horror. Questions spread faster than the wave itself. How high will it go? How far inland will it reach? And most terrifying of all, could this be the end of modern Japan? You're watching The Impossible Files. And here, we don't just tell stories, we explore the terrifying what-ifs that keep scientists awake at night. If you don't want to miss the next impossible scenario, make sure to hit subscribe right now, because what you're about to hear is a story the news will never tell you. The wave does not stop with its first strike. As the ocean surges inland, Tokyo's heart continues to drown. Skyscrapers that once touched the sky are now swallowed halfway by black, swirling waters. Entire subway systems vanish beneath torrents of mud and debris. Electricity shorts out. the once dazzling neon skyline is gone, replaced by darkness and fire. Helicopters circle overhead, their searchlights barely cutting through smoke and chaos. Survivors cling desperately to rooftops, waving frantically for help. In Shinjuku, one of the world's busiest districts, streets are no longer streets. They are rivers carrying buses, cars, and human lives downstream. Scientists had warned that a superquake in the Pacific could one day unleash a wall of water taller than anything in recorded history. But no simulation, no warning could capture the raw terror of reality. Within hours, Japan's government declares a national emergency unlike any in its history. The emperor issues a rare broadcast. Stay strong. Japan will endure. But across the nation, millions are displaced. Thousands are missing.
Run!
And the wave is not finished. From Tokyo Bay, the water races outward. Across the Pacific, the United States military scrambles to move naval fleets out to sea, the only chance of survival against a rolling wall of water. In Hawaii, sirens wail as residents rush toward higher ground. On the US West Coast, entire highways jam as Californians flee inland. The global economy buckles. Tokyo, the world's financial hub, is paralyzed. The stock markets freeze. Shipping lanes are disrupted. Within days, food shortages ripple through Asia. Planes are grounded. Oil prices spike. But beyond the numbers, the human cost is unbearable. Families separated, cities erased, generations changed forever. In the aftermath, Japan becomes a nation of survivors. The self-defense forces coordinate rescue missions, pulling thousands from rooftops and debris. Aid pours in from around the world. But how do you rebuild when the very ground beneath you is unstable? Experts warn that if such a tsunami struck, radioactive sites could be breached. Nuclear plants along the coast could flood, unleashing a second wave. Invisible, deadly radiation sweeping across the land. And then comes the climate impact. With millions of tons of ash, debris, and chemicals released into the ocean, global weather begins to shift. Monsoons strengthen. Hurricanes intensify. The Pacific jet stream destabilizes. What began as a regional disaster becomes a planetary crisis. But the greatest question is this: could humanity have prevented it? Scientists say yes and no. We cannot stop tectonic plates from shifting. We cannot hold back an ocean. But we can prepare. Evacuation systems, better infrastructure, early warnings. Perhaps survival is not about preventing the impossible. Perhaps it is about learning to live, knowing it could happen tomorrow. So imagine you wake up one morning and the ocean itself rises against you. Your city, your life, your world, gone in minutes. This is not science fiction. This is not fantasy. This is the terrifying reality of Earth's power. And it's only one of many impossible scenarios waiting to unfold. You've been watching The Impossible Files. If this story gripped you, subscribe now, because the next What If could be even more terrifying. A story you'll never see on the evening news, but one you'll only find here. Stay alert, stay prepared, because the impossible is closer than you think. As the waters rage through Tokyo, survival becomes an act of sheer will. Families cling to rooftops, entire neighborhoods vanish beneath the flood, and every second feels like an eternity. Rescue helicopters circle above. The sheer scale of destruction makes the city almost unreachable. Bridges collapse one after another, isolating districts like islands in a Black Sea. Fires break out where gas lines rupture, spreading across the surface of the flood like burning oil. The city is drowning, but it is also burning. Across the world, scientists and governments scramble to understand the scale. Satellite images show the Pacific Ocean reshaped, its waves radiating like ripples across the globe. The United Nations calls an emergency summit. Experts warn that more waves could follow, each one more devastating than the last. But the greatest question remains. Could Tokyo ever recover? Cities can be rebuilt, but millions of lives lost cannot be replaced. This is not just Japan's nightmare. It is a warning to humanity. The Earth does not forgive, it does not negotiate. It simply reminds us who truly holds the power.